Hey there, check it out. I built my first game. It's a Flappy Bird clone called Flappy Duck. Yeah, I know. It's a clone. What do you expect? But I did this to prove to myself that the age-old advice of build smaller games is actually helpful. But if you haven't heard this advice before, we're going to talk about it. But first, let me ask you a question. When you first started game dev, what was the first game you worked on? Be honest with me, okay? Was it Pong, like everybody says you're supposed to do? Or did you try to remake Dark Souls or World of Warcraft by yourself with no experience, get the 3D modeling or something like that and realize, oh my gosh, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing? Yeah, I've done that too. I'm sure a lot of us have. Now, as aspiring game devs, I know we've all heard the same advice. Beginners should focus on building lots of small games for at minimum two simple reasons. You gain experience on how to actually build a video game, and you get that sweet dopamine hit of actually finishing a project. But personally, I've always ignored that advice and just built whatever I felt like building. And it wouldn't be much of a surprise to tell you, I've given up game dev quite a few times. But lately, I've been really focusing on building smaller scope games to help build that experience and prepare myself to actually build my larger commercial games. And so my plan is to follow this 20 game challenge by SDG Games on building, 20 games. And these games start out from small to not so small by the end of it. Which brings us to my Flappy Bird clone, Flappy Duck. It's just a simple bare bones clone. You flap, you score, you duck. Easy enough, right? But this one small project really taught me quite a lot. I got practice with small scale game planning via the magical whiteboard. I learned a little bit about 2D Godot stuff since I mainly work in 3D. And I got some experience with the basic upload process for itch.io. But you know what the best thing I got from this was? The feeling of completing a project. I built the whole thing in 8 hours, like I said, roughly 8 hours. And you know what? It feels really good to go from planning stage, complete a game, and to have somebody play it, right? I had my wife play it, and she loved it. And you know what? It's really motivating to build the next project. Game number 2, what is that going to be? Well, I'm actually planning on doing the Jetpack Joyride clone with ducks, obviously. So, Duckpack Joyride, Jetpack Duck Ride, I don't know. My plan is to make 20 games and upload all of them to itch.io. So subscribe, follow along the progress. If you want to go play the games, Flappy Duck is up right now. I'll put a link to my itch.io page in the description. So this is a fairly short video, and if I had one takeaway, it's that the age-old advice of build small games for better experience is true. If you're a beginner like me and you're stuck in a rut of like imposter syndrome or just not knowing what you're doing, go build lots of small games to compound that feeling of getting something done. I think it helps keep your motivation up and adds credibility to yourself as a game developer. So when you tell people, hey, I make games, you can have a list of projects to show them. But it's not only to prove to other people you can make games, it's also to prove it to yourself that you can make games. Personally, I've been dealing with a lot of imposter syndrome this past week or so, feeling like I can't make a game, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm never gonna make anything. But finishing this one small game, even if it was just a clone, really did help prove to myself that I can build something. And that's what I want for you too, friend. If I can build games, you can build games, even if they're just clones for now. So as usual, thanks for watching. Come join the Discord, let's talk game dev, and I'll catch you next time.